action. If you know anybody in this area, please, at this point, let them know. Just text them, call them, whatever you may want to do, just to alert them, hey, we've got this tornado developing and on the radar right now. You need to take action now, all right? If you live in Nidayuma or Rolling Fork, take action now.
Horizontal vortice! That's a violent tornado!
This is a dangerous storm that is now forming over. Looks like it just came into town from the southwest. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a direct hit.
Yeah, I don't like seeing this.
Oh my God.
It was on the night of March 24th, 2023. The cries from the small town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi were heard round the world after a violent EF4 tornado came charging into town with 195-mile-an-hour winds that took the lives of 13 residents. With immediate responses destroyed by the tornado, the community of storm chasers and those who reside in this small little town of Rolling Fork would be bonded forever as we worked for over an hour pulling victims out of the crumbled homes and getting them to safety until first responders finally arrived and could escort them to where the most help was needed. It was enough to tug at anyone's heart, but if it's one thing we've learned in the wake of disasters, it's to never say never.
I'm wound up.
All right, so just go ahead and start off by telling me your first and last name and how to spell it.
Okay, my name is Meg, M-E-G, Cooper, C-O-O-P-E-R.
Easy to remember.
A lot of children and a lot of adults, but a lot of children are still very traumatized by the tornado. We had thought that this would be a fun thing to do with all the children, to just have a fun day on this weekend when everybody's bringing it up again and again, you know, to have something fun like Easter egg hunt, face painting, arts and crafts. So it's just kind of a fun thing in the midst of all of the memorializing. We are seeing progress, and that's encouraging to everybody.
I love this business. I love this community. I love being here. I think we're needed. I just feel like it needed to be here. We all have families to support. We're the perks of this little town, and everybody in little towns need little perks to make you happy. And you know, I feel like we needed to be here to keep this town going.
This is where that night started. Feels weird being back.
365 days since that horrific night has passed. It was a breath of fresh air to see so many smiling faces flocking back into Rolling Fork. While the road to recovery is still a long road ahead and many streets still filled with nothing more than slabs of concrete, many areas that once lie with piles of debris are beginning to blossom back to life. However, the story doesn't end there. Amongst a lonely Mulberry Street, one house has sprung back to life, a very special house belonging to Miss Myra. During our search and rescue efforts that night, we would come across a woman buried under her home, saved only by her recliner that was keeping the weight of her home and appliances like a refrigerator off of her. After an hour of removing and cutting away debris, my friends Jordan, Max, Adrian, and myself, with the help of several neighbors, were finally able to get her free and out of the pile of rubble. 1 year later, I was able to visit her and give her a proper hug that she rightfully deserved. And she still to this day remembers us shining down that light on her for the first time to start the process. She calls it the light of God shining down on her as she awaited to be freed from her home. If there's one thing about these disasters that we cover is time and time again, is that it brings an opportunity to not only help, but to connect deeply with people who we may have never had the privilege of meeting. And through tragedy, new lifelong friendships are typically born, with Miss Myra being no exception. I'll never forget right before I parted ways with Miss Myra, her saying, "I hope I see you again," still sitting there in her recliner, enjoying her days in the place she grew up and called home.